Building spirituality, family, health, and business. This is The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.
Okay, Giant Builders, today is a book review day, in which case we're going to look at the new rules of marketing and PR. So I really liked this book. I was a little concerned because there's just so many things happening and so many things are changing, and so I wanted to share with you some notes. And there's also a really I like diagrams, so there's a really cool diagram here that I will share with you, and we'll just talk through some of these things. So with my notes, one of the things I liked a lot, it said think of social media as a cocktail party. So at a cocktail party, you would kind of mingle around, get to know people, find out what they do or where they're from, and just kind of creating conversation, creating a relationship with them. And then, maybe that conversation will lead into, oh, what do you do for work? Or what do you do for work? Or maybe you exchange business cards or something of that nature. So don't go into social media just for the purpose of making a sale. So create those relationships. I liked how it talked about a worldwide rave. And this is something that everyone wants to share. So you've seen those. There are videos or cute little picture clips that gets millions of shares. And so some tips on rules of a worldwide rave. Keep in mind, you are the only one who cares about your product. It doesn't require a discount. Be involved with the community, and you need a trigger to get people to share. So it has to be something that's valuable or interesting or funny. So how can you take something in your industry, your product, and make it valuable, interesting, or funny that people want to share that? So that's something to think through the process. I had a section where I shared ways to get information out there, and we all know this, but I always think it's a good thing to review. All right, go back to the basics. Blogs, audio and video, photo chats or graphs, slide presentations like SlideShare, long form of written content, research and survey reports, email newsletters. But in your email newsletters, it had a really specific area on focus on solving their problems, not just on selling products, but focus on solving their problems. Webinars, ebooks, and white papers. And it went through a whole information about make your ebooks something that people want to get because you're solving, again, a problem. Or you're giving out information. That's how you're getting their information to continue building your email list so that you can continue reaching out to them. It had a section on tips to creating thoughtful content. So write to answer questions and solve problems, in which case there are a couple of websites on there, and I'll put the links below, but you can actually put in a topic and it will give you a list of questions that people are asking. One of them is Answer the Public, but I will look and leave a link below on what the other one is. Decide if your content is free or registered for. So it went through a whole detail about the fact that if your content is free, you're going to have a lot more people getting the content. If you request that they register for it, so like if they have to give their name and their email, you'll have less people getting that information. So you need to decide if your information is strong enough in the free content that'll make people respond or make people do what you want them to do, or is it information that's a little bit weak and you definitely need to follow up. I don't want to say weak, but maybe it's not as strong, and so you really, in order for you to follow up, you want to make sure you get their email. Okay, use examples and stories, use attention-grabbing titles and subtitles, and then promote the content like crazy. Some interesting information on optimizing your social media. Target a specific audience. And I think that's the hardest one. I've always struggled with that as far as narrowing down your specific avatar. When my husband and I were photographing a lot of weddings, we knew our specific bride. We obviously spoke to the brides, was between the age of 25 and 35, a professional, and this is their first marriage. That was like our perfect bride. You know, now that I'm working more in marketing, it's really harder to narrow down those people. It's harder to, you know, with my one company I know, it's specific niche business owners, male, and probably between the age of 30 and 45. It's just really hard to narrow those down, but I realize and I understand the importance of narrowing that down because it gives you more detail and more areas to target. So share below what is your perfect avatar? What niche how do you narrow down your specific target audience? Create thoughtful content, be authentic and transparent, and create a lot of links. Encourage people to contact you, participate, make it easy to find you, and experiment. So which of those do you feel like you need to work on? In the idea of sharing, it gave these 3 tips. Focus on what you are giving away rather than the product you are sharing. Don't hold anything back, and people love to share, as long as you give them something that's worth sharing. I also had a whole detailed area on news releases. So find reasons to send them out all the time. Don't wait for a specific big award or something like that. Look for ways of sending out news releases all the time. And I do believe that news releases are very helpful, and we have some different areas that we build up on our news releases for clients. And I do think that is a really good way, not only to get your information out there, but also get the backlinks that you need to promote those items. Write to appeal directly to your buyers, include offers, include links to landing pages, link to content on your website, and share your news releases on social media. And then some ideas for news releases. Maybe a new take on an old problem. So maybe you have a new strategy that you're using on something that a lot of people are dealing with. You're serving a unique marketplace. Interesting information. Are you speaking at an event? Did you win an award? Do you have a new product? Did you win a new customer? Or are you publishing a white paper? So those are some great ideas on how to use news releases to be effective. So those are just a few basics information here. Let me tell you a little bit about the chart that I like. And one side is publishing information for your buyers. So it suggests using blogs, new website, guest blog posts, testimonials, speaker bios, expert articles, industry partners, blog directories, news releases, affiliates, awards, galleries, infographics, events, and Reddit, streaming video, and newsjacking. On the other side, to drive action, if you're wanting them to, if the goal is to purchase something, to make sure that make it easy to buy, upsell, and continually reaching out to them. If the information is to get their contact information, make sure you have it really easy. Contact us, phone to book an appointment, email us. Make sure that you're easy to connect with. If you're wanting a connection with them, make sure you have a subscribe to an emails newsletter, a marketing funnel with an email autoresponder, webinars, and contact and connect to social media. If you're dealing with free downloads, make sure you have flagship content, ebook, templates, SlideShare. And just so I really like how this shares, really focus on these ideas and how they all connect together. So I really would love to find out which ones do you already use and what do you think you should be using. So again, the book is The New Rules of Marketing and PR. It's by David Merriman Scott, and I think it's definitely worth reading. It's a great book. I really enjoyed it. Thought it had some really good use now information. So for those of you who share in the comments, then we're going to have a free drawing for one of these books. I'm going to send it to you directly. And if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure to like us and subscribe so that we can make sure that you see next week's issue. And if you're not a member of the Giant Builders Facebook group, please look for us and join us. Every member gets a free Giant Builder picture of themselves, so you just have to email us a picture and we'll make a Giant Builder logo out of your picture. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.